I would like to welcome Dr. Allan Donsky from the Canadian Institute of Natural and Integrative Medicine. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm not a chatbot, and I'm not an AI agent. I just had surgery 4 months ago, and it made me slow down. And we're going to slow down for 10 minutes because we live in a world that's too rushed. Soul-centered care. What about our humanity? What about our heart and our soul? So we need to be perhaps reimagining digital mental health, and the question of sustainability always comes up. We all know we've got effective treatments for the mind. We've got CBT, we've got MBCT, we've got emotional regulation. But there's more to well-being than just cognition and emotions. What if sustainable mental health also included looking after our soul? 99% of this conference has been talking about the outer world, the world of identity, action, our jobs, our academics, our publications, our workforces, and the relationships outside. But there's a whole inner world. And most of mental health and well-being is directed to the mind, thoughts and feelings. But there's another 2 layers. There's what we call the heart. And Professor Daniel Fung yesterday used the word art. It's about caring. It's about connection. It's about healing. It's about wholeness. And 1 layer down is what we call soul. Soul is about meaning and purpose and what gets us out of bed in the morning. Soul feeds us from the bottom upwards, as in the visual. Carl Jung, the psychiatrist, spoke about soul as the genuine, authentic self, not as some metaphysical idea or religion or something philosophical, but as the deepest part of our inner world. At Sunam, we've developed some ideas that how do we access soul? We do it through contemplative practice, which is intentional and embodied. It's a form. It's a form of engaging with our inner life that promotes awareness and well-being and deepens our connections inwards to what really, really matters. And inner literacy cultivates that. It's a capacity to engage that. So when we start at the bottom with contemplative practices, we then get into a self-iterative and reinforcing process that increases awareness, meaning-making, connection, and we integrate the fullness of our humanity. And that in turn then brings about well-being and through transformational change at a very deep level, not just cognition. And ultimately sustainable well-being and flourishing. We've developed programming, it's been done, and we ask the kind of questions on the right-hand side. Not how are you feeling today. Where did you get stuck? And you contemplate that kind of question. And what might that your inner life be telling you? Maybe I'm in the wrong job. Maybe I'm in a lousy relationship. Maybe I need to change. Maybe I need to practice some self-acceptance. Maybe I need to be more compassionate. Maybe I need to heal broken bits of myself. So programming can include this kind of content. And of course it becomes personalized through contemplative practice as method and process. With narrative meaning making. I sound so serious. It's the first time I've given a public presentation since I had surgery. What's a broad impact? Well, we develop inner resources at the bottom. Ongoing transformation, not just recovery. Well-being, flourishing. Sustainable. This has implications for prevention, early intervention, developing healthy relationships with ourselves. And children aren't taught how to do that. All of us can develop more healthy relationship with ourselves. And then at the highest level, society. So how can we imagine digital interactions and moments of reconnection with ourselves, our inner world, and the world out there? And this morning it came to me, and I've still got time. How does this relate to what I've heard at the conference in the last 2.5 days? And I drew up a list of things. The word psychology and psychiatry comes from the Greek word psyche. The Greek word that translates as soul. And Psyche spent her life looking for a partner who was eros, love. Because that's really what it's all about. It's about loving the world. It's about loving ourselves. It's about loving each other. It's about healing and wholeness. Our heart and our soul have a natural intelligence. Never mind artificial intelligence. Let's access our natural intelligence. And before we do something about AI, let's do something about human stupidity. Good luck, yeah, we need a lot of it. Thank you. Thank you, Shana. We talk about lived experience. How many of us listen deeply to our own lived experience, our heart and our soul? I'd never heard a phrase before till yesterday. Keeping the human in the loop. Keeping the human in the loop. I'm available 24/7 to myself. So are you. I don't need AI. Let's change our relationship with ourselves at a deep level to build a sense of agency ourselves. Soul and heart are not a tool. They're a source. They're a fountain. They're our friend. They know what to do. One final comment. One thing about this, it's taught me to slow down. What evidence do we have that this is important or foundational or vitalizing or nourishing or life-affirming? And my answer is, my art doesn't need science to tell me what it knows to be true. My soul doesn't need science to tell me what it knows to be true.